I don't know how, or how you do it. You blow my mind without a word. Ooh, stuck upside down, I might be dreaming. There's no way back now. Take every inch of my body.
Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. So today's video is probably a video that neither me or you saw coming, but here we are. I got a call from my local Hermes boutique and I have a massive shopping bag right next to me. Probably won't even fit in frame, but here we are. Okay, this video is probably going to be on the longer side. I did take notes, so fingers crossed this video will have somewhat of a structure and I'm gonna stick to that. But yeah, it's gonna be on the longer side because, of course, I'm going to reveal which quota bag I got. But probably even more importantly, I'm going to share my story of how I got the bag with what I consider to be close to no purchase history whatsoever, and I don't even have a go-to SA that I work with at my local boutique. So it's definitely possible to get your hands on a quota bag without like one-to-one spend or establishing a close to friendship relationship with an SA. There's definitely a way to get your hands on a Birkin new from the boutique, not from Paris. I haven't tried the Paris system, but yeah, from your local boutique without spending like thousands in advance. So really excited for today's video. As I mentioned, probably will be on the longer side, so get your snacks ready, get something to drink, get cozy, so you can hear me talk from A to Z through my experience, and I'm going to include as much detailed information as possible. So yeah, hope this video is helpful, and of course, throughout the video, I'm going to reveal which bag I got. So here's the structure that I came up for this video. As I mentioned, I took notes, so let me quickly glance down. First off, I'm going to talk you through the waitlist process, so how that looked for me. Then we'll go over the day I got the call from the Hermes boutique. Then I'm going to talk about how the appointment went down when I actually picked up the bag. Then we'll reveal the bag. I know reveals are always really exciting and everything, but I think more so than the bag itself, you might probably be more interested in how I got the bag without like a massive purchase history or anything like that. And yeah, afterwards, in case you're interested, I'm going to talk you in detail through everything that I've ever purchased at my local Hermes boutique. I probably won't include the online purchases because chances are there's zero relevance for them in terms of me qualifying to get a bag or not. But yeah, so that's the structure of today's video. I am extremely excited to share my story with you. And yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, I would really appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. And I guess before I ramble on any further, let's get into the video. Alright, so let's start way at the beginning of the whole process of me ending up with a quota bag. Back in 2020, on the 3rd of July, I went into my local Hermes boutique. As I mentioned, without ever having a like go-to SA or anything like that, I just approached the next best SA there and was like really upfront, like, hi, I'm interested in getting a Birkin or Kelly. How do I go about that? And she was like, yeah, sure. Do you have a profile with us? And I was like, yes, because at the time I had purchased like a couple of knickknacks, but we're going to get into my purchase history later in the video. So she opened up my account and then, yeah, did some tapping on her iPad and was like, okay, let's go. Which type of bag do you want? I was like, I would like a Birkin. I did say I'm not too sure about the sizing, and she was like, no problem. Took out 2 floor models. Apparently, I mean, at my local boutique, they do have floor models for you to try on that are not for sale because they did look a little worse for wear. In particular, the 35 probably was in Clement's leather, looked really slouchy, but it was just for you to get an idea of the sizing. So I tried on a 35 and a 30. For reference, I'm 5'10", so like 177 centimeters on the taller side, I guess. So I was like, okay, tried both on, was set on the 35. Next question, which color would I want to go for? Black, no question about it. Leather, I was a little open about, but at the end of the day, because I had to like say something, I was like, I want to go for a Birkin in Epsom because Epsom is really structured and I do prefer structured handbags. So Epsom it was. And when it came to the hardware, zero question about it. I'm a gold hardware person all the way. I did ask if there was an option to go for rose gold hardware, but she said that was not an option, like at least on the form there. So yeah, palladium or gold, and zero question about it, I definitely decided on gold hardware. And that was basically it. I mean, the whole process, including trying on the floor models, took like 5 minutes maybe, at max. And afterwards, I think, yeah, I went with a friend and she bought a Bastia, but I made zero attempts to buy anything. Chances are, like looking back, I should have purchased something on that day just to like show that I'm not just there for the handbag, but that I'm also passionate about the brand in general, yada yada. But just as a baseline, like one step back, going into the process from the beginning, I was pretty certain on my approach in terms of, yes, I would really love to own a Birkin, maybe also a Kelly down the line, who knows, but I refused to play the Hermes game in terms of building up a long purchase history just for the sake of it and buying items that I'm not really interested in or not like super passionate about. Don't get me wrong, Hermes has some beautiful items from a range of different categories, but on most items, especially the more pricey items, if I'm really honest with myself, there are a lot of items that, if we factor out the like quota bag goal of mine, that I wouldn't purchase, like just for the item itself. A lot of people in the luxury community are perfectly fine with buying items to add on to their like purchase history and build up their reputation with the brand, for the sake of eventually, like someday down the line, getting a Birkin or a Kelly. That was not my path, and I was really adamant to sticking to that. As I mentioned, I went in 2020, never heard back from them. Like definitely after 1 year or like the 1.5 year mark, I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure they've just deleted me from the waitlist, because I think I heard from someone in the UK, I don't know, probably only rumors or maybe only applicable to like London boutiques maybe. She said that if you haven't gotten a bag off of your wish list or like wait list, I guess, after 6 months, you'll be taken off of the wait list and you have to like reapply basically. So I was like, okay, my wait list probably has expired by now, but at the same time, never thought of going back into the boutique to have them re-put myself on the wait list. So yeah, there's that. I just let it be and didn't really think about it. There were times that I almost forgot that I had myself put on a wait list like ages ago. Fast forward to 2023. End of February, it was a Monday, and I got a call from a number that I didn't know. Usually, I don't pick up when I'm getting a call from someone that I don't know or that I don't have saved in my phone. So yeah, who knows why I picked up to begin with. And it was a male SA from the Hermes boutique in my city. And by that time I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Because I definitely didn't expect a call from Hermes. Never, actually, because as I mentioned, I thought my wish list or like my waiting list had been deleted a while back. And he was like, yeah, you had yourself put on a wait list in July 2020. And I was like, yes, that's correct. And he's like, yeah, we might have a bag that fits your criteria. And by that time I was kind of freaking out, but tried to stay calm. Probably didn't sound that calm, but yeah. And he was like, yeah, but are you open to colors? And I'm pretty sure I said something along the lines of, yeah, not really, especially not like bright colors. Depends on the color family. And he was like, okay, we do have a black Birkin 35. So apparently he wasn't referring to, the leather color, but he was referring to the hardware. He was like, yeah, but it's silver hardware. I was really surprised that he said silver, not palladium, because I always thought that Hermes was really adamant in calling their silver hardware palladium, not actually silver, but he said silver. And my heart sank, because as I mentioned, I'm a gold hardware person, and yeah, I just knew that silver hardware or palladium hardware, in particular for my first Hermes bag, wasn't an option for me. So I was basically, I can't recall like the exact wording, but I was pretty much like, no, silver is a hard pass for me. And looking back, I can't quite believe how many opportunities I gave him to be like, okay, that's a shame, have a good day then, bye. Because right off the bat, I had made pretty clear that I was set on a specific leather color. Then I was like, silver, don't want to have anything to do with that. And still he was like, okay, maybe we do have another option. How about something with gold hardware? Still a Birkin 35, but it's another, like a different leather color. And I was so surprised because yes, I did have them put black on my waitlist or wish list, whatever they refer it to. But the like alternative color that he offered me, essentially he offered me like 2 bags. Of course, I wouldn't have been able to get both, but I mean 2 very classic, beautiful quota bags. So apparently they do have quite good stock. I'm going to circle back on the stock aspect later in the video. But yeah, I was really intrigued by the alternative offer that he made me. So I was like, yep, that sounds good. And he was like, okay, perfect. So when are you able to come in? So as I mentioned, I got called on a Monday. I had worked from home that day and I was planning to go into the office on Tuesday and Wednesday anyway. So I was like, yeah, either Tuesday or Wednesday around like lunchtime. And he was like, yeah, perfect. Just come in whenever. It's going to be reserved under your name until Wednesday evening and my colleagues will be happy to help you. Yeah, that was basically it. The whole conversation took like maximum 2 minutes and I was just overwhelmed to say the least. So yeah, that was the call that I never imagined I would actually get because yeah, I'm not like your typical Hermes client, I guess, because I don't buy that much from Hermes. So fast forward to Tuesday, didn't sleep that well from Monday to Tuesday, surprisingly, not really. But yeah, Tuesday rolled around, did my thing at the office and met up with my mom, which I had called as soon as I like put down the phone with the Hermes SA. I called my mom. She isn't into handbags at all. None of my family is, but she acknowledges that they make me happy and that they're a passion of mine. And when I'm happy, she's happy. So I was like, okay, I need some emotional support, Mom. Would you be willing to go to Hermes with me tomorrow? And she agreed, so we met up on my lunch break on Tuesday. I work pretty close to the Hermes boutique, so it was just like a 5 minutes walk basically. We met up, we go inside. As I mentioned, the SA on the phone said I could come in whenever, so I didn't make an appointment or anything like that. Plus, I don't have a go-to SA, so I didn't really care who I ended up working with. So just went inside, said, hi, I'm here to look at a bag, gave them my name, and the person at the door just assigned me the next available sales associate. She went in the bag and was probably gone for, I'd say like 5 minutes. And while we were waiting, we also saw that another lady got offered a Birkin 30 in gold with gold hardware. Stunning. And by the way, both me as well as the lady just, yeah, got offered the bag like on the general like shopping floor, like no special or like secluded area in the boutique. I don't even know if my local boutique has like a like secluded area for handbag or like quota bag offers, but they just let us roam around with the bags. She walked around with the bag and tried it on a different lighting. Same with me. Yeah, okay, we're gonna get to how I tried on the bag and everything. So a couple minutes pass, the SA comes back with a giant box. Let me quickly, yeah, of course it didn't have the ribbon around it yet, but yeah, it's ginormous. So she came back with a box and put on her gloves and everything, and immediately starting like taking the lid off and then the tissue paper bit by bit. And okay, one really embarrassing thing, I tried to film. I thought it was pretty low-key and not really noticeable, but apparently it was, because I had my phone right here and just filmed while I was looking at her unwrapping the bag. And she noticed and she was like, unfortunately, we can't have you filming anything. Could you please delete that footage right now? So yeah, kind of embarrassing, but chances are I'm not the first one that tried to film the like bag offer process. Of course, that might be different if you're a regular client at Hermes, or for instance, I mean, when I went to Paris in 2021, granted, I didn't have a leather appointment or anything, but I was roaming around the FSH store and no one cared about me filming basically the entire store. So yeah, apparently it depends on your SA, depends on the store or like the country that you're located in. Anyway, so that didn't work out. Yeah, I ended up deleting the footage there and then, and we were good to go. So she lifted up the last bit of tissue paper and took out the bag. I mean, at that time, of course, I knew which color it would be, but as I mentioned, like early on in the video, I wanted to go for Epsom leather. And I didn't quite catch when the SA on Monday offered me the bag, like the second bag that I ended up purchasing, because I was kind of overwhelmed. I didn't quite catch if it was Epsom leather or Togo leather. Turns out the one, I think probably the black one with silver hardware would have been Epsom leather, and this one is Togo leather. Which, going into it, I was like, Togo, I mean, Epsom is the most structured leather, I guess. Togo does tend to slouch over time, especially when you go for a large bag, of course, when you fill it up, or like the leather itself has some weight to it, and the items you put inside add to the weight of the bag, and yeah, there might be some slouching going on. Plus, also with Togo, but more so with Clémence, I think, but also Togo, there might be the chance that you have visible veining, because Epsom is pressed leather, so it's like not a natural grain, whereas with Togo it's natural grains. That was something I was a little apprehensive about, and yeah, something that I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to see what the bag looks like in person. She took it out, I really inspected it and was pleasantly surprised that the graining on the leather is really even, no veining whatsoever, which I was so happy about. And yeah, she talked me through the specifics and let me try the bag on. And one thing I'm extremely thankful for, might be a personal preference thing, because chances are some of you will be like, okay, that's definitely a sign of lack of care and bad customer service and everything, but I really appreciated how she went about it. So she was like, hey, once she was done like showing me the specifics and we chatted a bit about the color and the leather and everything, she left me with the bag. Just, I think she somewhat dealt with another customer that tried on shoes and just let us be with the bag and let me try the bag on. I walked around the store without her following me or anything. I just roamed around the store, went to the back of the store where they have floor-to-ceiling windows, so I was able to get an idea of what the color looked like in natural daylight. Walked around more, checked out the bag in different mirrors throughout the store without her chasing me. And I really appreciate that, because especially with such an expensive bag, I don't want to feel pressured into buying anything. And if she would have been at my heels at all time, I think that would have made me feel somewhat uncomfortable. So me personally, I really appreciated how she went about the process, and yeah, how she just like let me do my thing with the bag and inspected it and everything while she took care of another customer. Another thing I quickly wanted to mention about the SA, of course, it was a matter of luck which SA I got assigned to. I hadn't seen her before, by the way, which doesn't say a lot because I don't really go into the Hermès boutique like on a regular basis, but yeah, she was really chill and really upfront about everything. For instance, as I mentioned, my first choice in terms of leather would have been Epsom, and I told her that, and she was like close to verbatim, as close as I can remember it. She was like, honestly, I would never go for anything in Epsom. Epsom is the lowest quality leather at Hermes. Go to Asia and you will see so many fakes, and you can't really tell the difference between fakes and the real thing, because Epsom is so easy to replicate because, yeah, as I mentioned, it's like stamped and not the natural grain. So yeah, I was like, okay, noted. I mean, I still like the look of Epsom, but hearing firsthand from an Hermes sales associate that, yeah, Epsom is the lowest quality leather ever and she would never go for an Epsom Birkin was like, okay, all right. So yeah, she was really upfront about everything. Also, another thing she said, I don't even know how that topic came up, but essentially she was like, yeah, we do get a lot of people that come in and ask about a bag. And of course, we have like, in the stock room, we have basically every color and every size. And I was like in my mind, okay, that's for no, we don't have stock. Probably that's what they tell them. But she said, yeah, of course, we have a lot of items and like a lot of different colors and sizes and everything in the stock room. But we do work on a waitlist basis. We can't just give out bags to everyone that asks for them. If at the same time we have a long list of standing clients or people like me, I guess I was a client at the time that I had myself put on the waitlist. But yeah, my purchase history was close to non-existent. But essentially she was like, yes, we do have quite good stock, almost always. But we can't just give out the bags to everyone that asks for it because we have a wait list of people that have been waiting for. Probably me having waited for 2.5 years is on the longer side. I could have sped up the process probably if I had purchased more items since I had myself put on the wait list. But as I said, that was not the journey that I chose to go. But yeah, I really appreciated her honesty because, I mean, we all know, even if they say like, no, unfortunately, we don't have any stock, of course they do. Of course they do. And I appreciated how she was so honest about that. So yeah, I just found her super refreshing. So that's basically everything that I can tell you about the like in-store process. Oh, one more thing, and then we're gonna get into the reveal, unboxing, whatever. As well as in 2020, where I tried on the 30 and the 35. Also on this specific Tuesday, while I was trying out my bag, I was like, do you by any chance have a 30 just to compare? And she was like, yeah, but not for like purchase. And I was like, perfectly fine. I just want to compare the sizes again. So she got out a 30, beautiful. That was probably a bag, not like a floor model, but a bag that was up for purchase. Black Epsom leather, gold hardware. I think it might have even been in a cellier. But yeah, she gave me that bag to carefully try on. And the 30 just looks way too tiny on me. I don't know what it is. I've seen so many other tall girls or guys with a 30 and the 30 looks great on them. For me, I don't really know what it is. It's like a weird in-between size. So as soon as I saw the 30, I was like, no way. Definitely gonna go for like the 35. Tried the 35 on again and felt really happy with it. And of course, it's still a big bag, but I can definitely see myself wearing it with a lot of different kinds of outfits. And also the color is perfect for year-round. Okay, let's cut to the unboxing, finally. Thank you for sticking around. And after the unboxing, I'm going to talk you through my purchase history.
I just want to get you on my grid sometimes, on my grid sometimes. All my friends are saying that I waste my time, that I waste my time. I don't want to tell you, I know if you care. Repeating my mind, rolling around, stuck in your bed. Burning temptation, I just cannot hide it. Late at night when I'm all alone, try not to think about it. Invade my thoughts with your honeycomb. Try not to think about it, but baby I do.
Introducing my very first, hopefully not my last, but I'm not gonna push things. Chances are, I think I've heard it somewhere that, yeah, getting the second quota bag at your local Hermes boutique is a lot harder than getting your first. So if this beauty will stay my only Hermes bag for quite a while in my collection, I'm perfectly fine with that. I do have studio lights on, so the color probably won't translate perfectly, but it's a Birkin 35, Togo leather, gold hardware in the color Etoupe. And yeah, now you can probably get an idea of how excited I was when the SA on the phone on Monday talked me through the alternative handbag option, because I mean, Etoupe is such a classy and like classic color, it goes with everything. In no way do I feel like I compromised on anything with me going for Togo instead of Epsom and Etoupe instead of black. Yeah, I'm just beyond excited. So 360 of my beautiful new bag. By the way, if you're interested, it's a B blind stamp on the inside, which means it's been produced in 2023. And yeah, I haven't like taken out the clochette and attached it, and chances are I won't be wearing the clochette on the handle because I'm afraid of like rubbing or like, yeah, the clochette like dangling around here and rubbing off of the grain of the leather. But I'm just beyond excited. So let me know what you think. I think I'm not going to include like mod shots in this video, but don't worry, you will be seeing a lot of this bag, both on my YouTube as well as on my Instagram. And I'm just yeah, at a loss for words. I didn't end up purchasing Twillies on that day, which I also appreciated. She was like, the SA, she was like, yeah, what about Twillies? And I was like, yeah, let's see. But at no point was she pushing for anything. So we went to the front of the store to look at the Twillies, and I didn't really like any of them. I mean, chances are someday down the line I will end up buying a matching pair of Twillies. But on my visit that day, they didn't have any Twillies that spoke to me. Plus, I do have one Twilly at home that I think would match pretty perfectly. Granted, I only have one of them. It's my, didn't take it out for this video, but it's my Brie de Cour Twilly in black, off-white and gold details. And I haven't tried it on yet, but I'm pretty sure it will be a beautiful match. So maybe I'm going to go on a hunt on the pre-loved market to find a second Twilly to match that one. So yeah, my handles will be taken care of. Also, another thing I'm not quite sure yet, and I would love to know your input on that, is inserts. With it being Togo in a large size, I'm fairly certain that I want to get an insert for my Birkin. The question is, like deep down inside, I know that 7RP or 7 Rue Paradis is probably like top tier, the way to go when it comes to inserts, but they are really pricey. They are really pricey, and I don't know if I want to drop that kind of money on an insert. So if you have any experience with either 7RP, also if you own Samorga inserts. I mean, I do have a Samorga insert for my Louis Vuitton Noé in GM, for instance, and I'm pretty happy, I guess, with the quality, but Birkins are a whole nother level, and I don't want to have any like indentations or anything. I just want to preserve the structure and avoid slouching at all costs. I would really appreciate your input on my struggle when it comes to inserts, so share your thoughts in the comments below. But yeah, so that was it. We went to the till. I dropped an awful lot of money on a handbag. Hermes did have quite a significant price increase from 2022 to 2023. I think like 8.5% roundabout. But yeah, you can't really decide on when you're gonna get offered a bag, so dropping that kind of money really hurt. But it's a forever bag for me, and I wouldn't change it for anything. So yeah, got to the till, paid, and as I mentioned, I was on my lunch break, so I went back to the office. I asked them to put like the giant orange bag inside a white bag. I just preferred it that way, so I went back to the office and had a giant white shopping bag sit in the back of my office, waiting for me to sign off for the day and go home. So that was my my shopping experience, I guess. I mean, it's been a while, like almost a week now since I purchased my bag, but still can't quite believe that I actually own an Hermes Birkin from the boutique, not from Paris, where chances are it's a little easier to get a bag without any purchase history, if you manage to get an appointment, which apparently has gotten significantly more hard than like a couple of years ago, but yeah. Alright, and the last section of today's video. I came prepared, I took my notes. I'm gonna talk you through my purchase history, like everything that I've ever purchased in my local Hermes boutique. Again, I won't bother with going through my online purchases, but even if I was to go through them, I think there were like 2 Bastias, a Twilly or 2, and that's probably it. So yeah, close to nothing online. And when it comes to my in-store purchases, I'm gonna go through them in chronological order, rapid fire style, because I've kept you way too long already. So took my notes, so don't mind me looking down. My first ever Hermes purchase was in January 2018. I purchased a Gavroche, so a 45 by 45 silk scarf in the Brie de Gala design with the heart pattern. I think that was like probably like 160 bucks. Then next purchase in the boutique was in May 2018, a cotton material, I think they're called like yachting pouch. So from the swim section, I think, like a toiletry case. I've long sold that, even like way before I started my YouTube channel, because I probably shouldn't have bought that in the first place. But yeah, that was also like 150 bucks maybe. Then in September 2018, I bought a Twilly. Fast forward to March 2019, I bought a square mosaic au 24 plate. I think I paid like 175. Pretty sure like around that price bracket. Then in 2020, in June 2020, I purchased the mosaic au 24 sushi tray. Probably cost like 160. And that's it in terms of my purchases before I went into the boutique in July 2020 to have myself put on the waitlist. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. And like all these items were like tiny little knickknacks, not even worth mentioning actually. And those 5 purchases were from 2018 to 2020. So yeah, not much to speak about when it comes to purchase history. So Waitlist was in July 2020. In August of 2020, I purchased my Click H bracelet. In October 2020, I purchased another Twilly. 2021, I didn't purchase anything from Hermes. Zero, nada. And in 2022, I only purchased 1 item in March, and those were my O'Kelly earrings, which I happen to wear today. They usually come with a leather part behind the lock, but I prefer to wear them without the leather. So this is actually insane. After I had them put me on a wait list, I'd only purchased 3 items at the boutique, 2 costume jewelry pieces, 1 Twilly, and that was over the span of almost 2 years. So yeah, I don't know, I was just lucky, I guess, or I mean, I did wait quite a while, but it also didn't really feel like waiting because, as I mentioned, after like 1 year, 1.5 years, I kind of anticipated never getting a call. So who knows why they ended up assigning the Birkin to me, or like 2 Birkins actually. I mean, I did have the choice between the black with silver hardware and the YouTube with gold hardware, which still baffles me. But yeah, I think I shared everything that I was able to share about my Hermes story, or like Hermes journey, without it actually being a journey. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it was helpful, or at least entertaining. I hope I'm able to, like in post-production, in the editing process, to keep this video under 30 minutes, but if it's over 30 minutes and you're still around, even if it's under 30 minutes and you're still around, I've talked a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching my videos. I've been on YouTube for a couple of years now. The growing process has definitely been slow, but I enjoy every minute of it. I would really appreciate if you could consider subscribing. Of course, only if you enjoy my videos. Give this video a thumbs up. I upload every Wednesday and I talk about a range of different topics, from like handbags, as you might be able to guess. But I also talk about like jewelry, I film unboxings, shopping vlogs and travel vlogs from time to time, and the occasional like high street fashion and styling video thrown into the mix. So if that sounds like a thing, I would love for you to consider subscribing. And before I keep you any longer, I guess I'm gonna see you in my next video. Definitely share your thoughts on my Quota bag, and if you have like a similar experience or very different experience. Oh, by the way, I should have mentioned, sorry about that, but probably most of you know I'm located in Germany, so that might play into how the process went down for me. If you have any additional questions, if I happen to miss an aspect that you were interested in, feel free to drop your questions in the comment section below, and I'm happy to help wherever I can. And yeah, I'm gonna see you in the comments below or in my next video. Bye.